I'm fine, thank you, Sherry. Thank you. I'm working as the HR director of Mediclinic Al Murjan Hospital. It's a new hospital in Jeddah. I would say the year 2022 is a year full of fun, and a lot of work has been done, especially on a personal level and on my team as well. We are commissioning a new hospital here in Jeddah, and we are building it from the scratch. And the HR team is setting up the foundation, inshallah, for the hospital to function very well on different levels and different layers. And that the year 22 is especially it's a special year that we start recovering from COVID-19, and a lot of organizations start now to refocus their strategies and reshape their strategies according to the new trends in the HR market and in the HR world as well. So the year 2022 is, I would say, it's a year full of challenges, full of opportunities and learning journeys as well. The most important learning from the year 22 is never compromise on attracting the right talent. And when I say never compromise, is that sometimes, especially in a healthcare setting, finding the talent is very hard. And if you find the talent, sometimes you have to fit them very well to ensure that they are fitting within your culture, within your the values, mission and vision of your organization, and that they can align as well. So finding talent, although it is very scarce in the healthcare, but we try as well, like, as much as we can, not to compromise on finding the right talent and quality of the candidates that we'd like to attract to our organization. The building the organization from the scratch, and especially it's a new project. It's an opportunity that we build the right culture, and we build a just culture, and a culture that, or a work environment that will thrive, and that will be, inshallah, leading the healthcare sector, which is a very sensitive, I would say, sector, because it touches the life of our patients, and it touches the life of people and families and communities and countries. So the right talent that we need to attract is critical to our operation if we want to function very well. So we would never compromise on. This is one learning. One thing what we learned, that we will never compromise on quality. I would say any HR strategy that are primary, the focusing on people and making people their primary asset will actually work very well with HR, because HR is centered about people. And when we say centered about people, it does not only include employees, it includes everybody. And HR has I would say, a greater responsibility towards community, towards patients, towards shareholders, toward the whole the world, I would say, to contribute actively and making the life of people who are actually, if not employed at your organization, they and their family are employed at other organization as well. So if you are contributing to the well-being of one employee and making their life the happy life, and making their I would say, learning journey or knowledge acquiring is an interesting journey, then definitely you are contributing to the whole society by producing the strategies, or I would say introducing the strategies in your organization according to people and focus on people. And I think I would say in the organization I'm working at right now, our primary focus is focusing on people. When we say people, is patients and employees at the same time. Anything else is coming as a result. If we were successful in focusing our strategies on people and patients, then profit is just a success story. And other than that, that's the primary source or the primary the focus for our organization to go. Never compromise on your strategies, never build your strategies around anything but focusing on people, because everything will fall in place when you do that. And I would say that that's a challenging thing, especially in a startup project, because there is no systems in place, no policies, no procedures, and you are building it up. Culture is built from day one. And when we say culture is built from day one, culture does not need systems to operate. Culture is the drivers behind the organization that push people or push the employees towards one target or one goal. And that is the culture that we are trying to build. And building it starts from leadership and cascaded down to an individual level. And culture does not mean fancy, I would say, budgets or fancy systems or fancy systems will help, budgets will help, but it can start from the very, very core, I would say, functionalities that we need to implement. For 2023, everybody will focus on digital transformation. That's for sure. And companies will start to, I would say, try to explore opportunities in the digital world. And the whole country, in case is moving towards a digital healthcare and a digital transformation on a highest level. And the support that we are receiving, both from government and also the push for the private health sector, and best practices also of the world is also pushing towards the digital transformation. And when what we are having right now, and I say most of the companies would have, is focusing on the digital transformation of their systems. But digital transformation is more than just systems and more than just building automation for your functionalities. Although it is a very important factor to automate all your services or your processes, but that is not enough anymore. We need to invest in AI. We need to invest in metaverse. We need to invest in VR and AR, and also explore the blockchain technology and explore other aspects, the Internet of Things as well. So we can create an environment. Let's say I would take one of the examples is the AR. That's an opportunity to educate your employees, to take them into 360 virtual the trip for your onboarding processes, for training and development, for safety, workplace safety. That kind of technology would put the employees inside the action. And also there are a lot of I would say obstacles right now with the traditional technology that we are having right now, and using a more smart solutions is the key element that everybody will focus on. I would say if your processes are automated, fully automated, that means the your different functions or disciplines inside the organization will start to speak to each other correctly. And when we say start to speak to each other, there is monitoring, there is tracking, there is data, and there are a lot of elements that are falling in place, and everybody can access it, and everybody can start communicating between each other correctly. And the different initiatives inside the HR department, I would say, it will start to interconnect and start to talk to each other in ways that we cannot just see it obviously if we have it on a manual basis. The other thing is that focusing more on the quality of the work, because if you do not invest in technology, that means you have to do a lot of manual work. And doing a lot of manual work is just killing the talent or the skills that you are trying to build for your employees, because they will be consumed doing day-to-day work, and not focusing on their personal development, or not focusing on their growth, and not focusing on things that they actually need to start learning and acquiring. And they are looking for organizations that provide that kind of availability inside their culture. So focusing on that is a key element. I would say now a lot of, I would say, current employees, and also previous, I would say, old generation employees, they need to upskill their knowledge, their skills, and reskill them as well. Leadership that does not start to understand or change the mentality that they are running things, and start to know that strategy is not just a fancy word. We put it on paper and just bring any consultation company to do that kind of activity for us. Strategy actually need to be executed, and no one will execute the strategy but the leaderships, managers, middle managers, supervisors, up to the down to the individual level. Everybody should be educated. Everybody should be skilled. Everybody should know how they play their part in the organization, and how they can cascade that kind of strategy from top to down. And cascading that strategy is not an easy task. And a lot of companies fail to execute on strategies, or they just do, or they execute partially or in one strategy and leave the other. And that's the problem. If we are talking about the HR strategies, for example, they are involved, they are stakeholders and business owners as well in many activities inside the organization. You will find them stakeholders in building the culture, commitment, engagement, inclusion, diversity, and learning and development, performance management, and career pathing, skill succession planning. All those elements that actually create culture. You cannot just focus on one area and leave the other. It will never work. It will never click. You need to know how career pathing is linked to succession planning, and how succession planning is linked to talent management, and how talent management is connected to learning and development. That's a one full cycle that you need to complete and understand. You cannot just have one initiative and you expect that it will generate the outcome that you are desiring. It will never work like that. No committed employee without a good training and development system, and no training and development system will work without having other strategies in place for it to function well. And I think start working on on the employees and upskill them, and spend a lot of money. And not only the money is building that culture. That learning is very important, and we want you to learn, and we want you to grow with us. Without that, I don't see that any strategy would be a successful story, or the successful strategy that can be, I would say, spoken about. One of the most important things I would say, like in 2023, especially in KSA, is the data privacy. There is a new data privacy law that will be implemented on the 17th of March next year, inshallah. And that is one of the best moves, especially for organization to start now focusing on that area. Data privacy will be a huge thing for organization, or a huge challenge for organization, and they need to start implementing those, I would say, governances, compliances, and ensuring that the data of their employees, the data of their patients, the data of everybody who's involved in their organization is protected, and that it only can be shared with the people who are authorized to do that. Those requires a lot of frameworks, require a lot of system changes and change management, and understanding the importance of that, training and development initiatives, actually taking it very seriously, and also changing and shifting your strategy towards ensuring that the data protection or the data privacy inside your organization is a key element that you are focusing on and that you are taking very seriously. And we are very lucky, alhamdulillah, we start to heavily invest our efforts, time, and also invest in systems that will support those initiatives. So I think those will be the most three priorities, but there are so many other priorities as well. Moving from a traditional, I would say, HR work environment to a more complete aspect, or a more complete perspective of HR. One key element that I think that will cover a lot of those elements are the employee well-being. And the employee well-being is not just like a word we say, it's actually a word that includes the financial well-being, mental health well-being, social the well-being, and physical well-being, and career well-being. And if you cover all those aspects, you're actually covering most of the organizational culture inside, and the organizational culture that you are trying to build to make you a successful organization in the market. Employee well-being is an important factor, and this is where your strategies will focus on people. If you focus on people, you will get the outcomes and the results that you are, inshallah, hoping and desiring to achieve. Anybody can build a building, and they can spend billions and fancy equipments, and getting all the talent that they can get. But if you do not build strategies to support those spendings, and focus more on the people who will run those buildings and who will operate those equipments, you will never be a successful story.